My name is Blanca de la Torre. I am from Spain, and I'm here in Miami to research the ecological problematics related to water in Florida. I'm a curator, an art writer, and I'm very interested in the relationship between art and ecology.
The aim of ARTSail is to bring residents to Miami to explore the waterways that surround the city and all the issues that are concerning these waterways. And we invited Blanca because her concern of many years was to study the relationship between art and ecology and how artists can really play the role of activists when it comes to issues connected to the environmental challenges that we're all facing today.
I think understanding scientific facts is not enough, and art can offer and provide, again, these alternative views to understand the problem and the dramatic situation that we are now in relation to the planet and to ecology.
This relationship that we have with Miami and its waterways is one that is a concern of practitioners here or of the community in general, but it's also one that many artists have in common outside. So the ARTSail program was really an opportunity to bring practitioners who were developing this or thinking about this within their own context here in Miami, giving them the time, the space, and those resources in order to work with Miami's community on those very ideas.
Blanca, you see that? Yes. We're rolling over on his side.
Yeah, I totally fall in love with the sea right now. I mean, I always loved it, but now it's just great, and being out there like with people that are knowledgeable. Like Umbretta has been sailing forever, so she knows a lot about sea and sailing and all that. And then Gustavo is this kind of Sherpa who knows every spot.
So each time that there's an area that we're going to explore, what I've been doing is I've been researching three main things about it. First, the history, the nautical history of it. Second, the nature aspects of it. And third, the locations that are interesting landmarks in different spots.
It's been like showing us amazing places with like lobsters and corals, and we saw this huge brain coral, like kind of this size, amazing. And also the fact of trying to understand the city from the sea, so that change of perspective, how you can analyze a city from that side and that point of view, especially in terms of gentrification and the history and how it was created, especially a city like Miami that's related to water since its origins. It's quite different from other residencies that I've been. First, because it connects you with a more multidisciplinary knowledge, like, you know, again, scientific or with biology, or, you know, like with this partnership with the Frost Museum, for instance. What do we have here?
Well, this is a sort of an overview of an archive of a gentleman named Roy Minor. Roy Waldo Minor was a curator at the American Museum of Natural History, and I want to say in the mid-70s, his wife handed over a chunk of his research, and he was at the American Museum of Natural History, and he spent a large part of his career working with artists to build displays at the museum.
I became kind of obsessed with coral bleaching. Well, first of all, because corals are amazing. Corals are animals, but they are also plants and they are also rocks. So they're the three things at the same time. Somehow there's this amazing hybrid. We were meeting this restoration team, and I really had no idea. How do you restore a coral? How do you plant a coral back?
All right, welcome. What we're really focused on is restoring local coral reef populations. And we focus that with threatened coral species here in South Florida. So Dr. Diego Learman, who created this lab about 9 years ago, started with staghorn coral. So staghorn coral is a native species, but populations have drastically declined the last 20, 30 years because of a number of different issues. These coral species are tiny. They're just, you know, the size of pin needles or pinheads, but they build these giant reef structures that can be seen from space. But they're very fragile because of that, because they're a small organism that's specially adapted for specific conditions. So when we see these fluctuations in ocean chemistry or ocean temperature, they're not going to respond well to it, and that's what these bleaching events and these disease outbreaks are in response to. So it's a lot like a rose garden, actually. When you prune a rose garden, it'll actually flourish as a result. And these corals actually do something very similar, where when you collect fragments off of the main colony, they'll respond with increased growth. So we realized that we could translate this to the public really easily and actually have them help us. So that's why we created our program called Rescue a Reef, which is really a citizen science project designed to raise awareness on coral reefs locally and then actually engage them in the restoration. So individuals now have the chance to come on the boat with us to learn about this restoration and then help. So we're having these citizen scientists work alongside us to actually outplant corals with us, which has been a tremendous story for Miami because people have really been energized by it. They're excited about a positive story about coral reefs and something tangible that they can do to help restore these populations. And we're seeing recovery very quickly.
We have to be aware that every decision counts, and every decision we take every day counts. And if we would all change a little bit our daily habits, I think it would be a major change.